Right, welcome back. So, of course, it is less than 2 hours before kick-off at the Cape Town Stadium, where Wales are looking to make it a Northern Hemisphere hat-trick today. If they beat the Springboks and win the series, they will follow in the footsteps of Ireland and England, who defeated the All Blacks and Wallabies, respectively. Those defeats to the Southern Powers might just be the warning the Boks need ahead of today's clash. And, of course, that match is going to be at 5:05 this afternoon. My colleague Justin Ford has been at the stadium and we've been crossing with him. Justin, welcome back to you. So what I wanted to ask you is this. Of course, Wales has always been a thorn in South Africa's side, but Boks have mostly had difficult matches against Wales. For some odd reason, Wales seem to figure the Boks out. Why do you think that is?
Yeah, good afternoon again, Nicole. I think just before we get to your question, it's very notable that this heat in Cape Town has caused people to get a beverage very cold to quench that thirst and get, cool down a bit. But nonetheless, Wales, a fantastic side, a side that really works hard, that prides themselves in just being, structured in the approach, knowing what to do at the right times. History will tell us that matches, up until 2017, or since 2017 rather, that was very tight between the two teams, being South Africa and Wales. And this week, a lot has been spoken about possibly a similar playing style, hence these matches between the two teams being a close encounter. Wales captain Dan Biggar absolutely agreeing to that when I asked him that question, just saying, you know what, is that potentially the reason why you guys have encountered such close matches? And he's basically confirmed that, it's about fighting fire with fire. So it's trying to max and to meet up with the Boks at critical moments, and I think that's what's important for them. But on the other side, Captain Siya Kolisi is a confident man. There's a lot of things happening in the camp at the moment as well for them as they prepare for an exciting season. They've got the Rugby Championship coming up, and then there's the end of year tours. All matches that they are using in preparation for the Rugby World Cup in France next year as they defend their title. But another big point and talking point this week through every press conference where the Springboks were questioned was around the fact that Evan Etzebeth will play his 100th test for the Springboks, while Bongi Mbonambi, the hooker, will play his 50th test. Something that is marked as very special. The teams from the Springbok team at least were saying, the victory is first and foremost, and I think only once that happens can they really celebrate these milestones by these players, and this is what Siya Kolisi had to say about that.
We obviously want to do it for them, but most importantly for the Springboks, and obviously for the people of South Africa who actually came and supported us in probably one of the it's difficult in our country at the moment, with everything that's going on, but people are still buying tickets, coming to support us, so there's all of that to play for tomorrow, and it will be amazing to make it special for the two guys.
I love that he actually highlights that people are still buying tickets, coming to support us, and it really shows you how South Africans really do love the Springboks. Justin, earlier when we spoke, you touched on the All Blacks losing to Ireland, and I remember one of the comments that you made is that rugby is changing. And I'm quite interested to know who are some of the teams that you think are showing more flair, and is this good for rugby in the sense that we stop seeing the same team winning all the time?
Absolutely, Nicole. I think there definitely is a shift to the Northern Hemisphere. The fact that France are now the #1 team in World Rugby shows the shift in terms of how things have changed. France leading the way, followed by Ireland. Ireland beating the All Blacks. England beating Australia. Wales beating the Springboks last weekend. It just shows that the Northern Hemisphere really is coming to the party when it comes to their style of play, being able to match that of the Southern Hemisphere. So it really does make for an interesting Rugby World Cup next year, and it is being played in France. So the pressure is on them, and the fact that they've started so well in their preparation, gone to #1 in the world, can only bode well for that French team, and they really have played some exciting rugby, been taken close in a few games, but again, just being able to have that mental strength and composure to really come out on top. So that in itself just shows that Southern Hemisphere is on the rise and makes for an exciting Rugby World Cup in France next year.
Thank you so much for that, Justin. I saw some people giving a thumbs up, and I heard you earlier saying it's really, really hot there, and I think some of the people are having cold beverages. You can't have a cold beverage yet because we're still going to be crossing to you later after this match. But that's my colleague Justin Ford, who's all the way in Cape Town. Of course, it is the third match of the 3-test series with the Springboks versus the Wales, and we'll see later at 5:05 what starts to happen with that match. Moving over